Good morning. My name is Giovanna Daly, and for this video assignment, I've decided to look at the impact of COVID-19 on globalization. So, as was discussed in the sessions, globalization has altered the way we live in many ways. Right? The close integration of the world's economy have facilitated global interconnectedness, and because of this, trade and travel are significant determinants to the spread of diseases. So if we look at COVID-19, its first case was reported in China in 2019, and in less than a year, we see that every country in the world has reported a case of COVID-19. And so, the consequences of a pandemic are not only defined in terms of mortality, but also by their impacts on our daily lives and the economy. The pandemic has affected the economy in terms of supply and demand, right? So one, consumers and investors, they have lost confidence in markets, and this is evident in companies who trade on a global stock exchange, where since the beginning of COVID-19, we see that their stock values or stock market prices has reduced significantly. Secondly, it causes a reduction in the workforce. If we look at the unemployment rate in Jamaica, for example, and by extension the entire world, since the beginning of COVID-19, it has increased significantly. And thirdly, the public health and international response to pandemics affect the economics and the development in policies such as trade, travel, and healthcare. So let us look at travel and mobility. Air and sea travel has reduced significantly due to travel bans that were implemented on countries that were mostly affected. So I believe it was March 2020 when the cases were increasing in Jamaica that the government had implemented travel bans on China and the UK, because at the time those were the two countries that had the most cases. And this affected airlines and cruises because some airlines stopped operating, and cruises were suspended. So for example, British Airlines or British Airways, they stopped operating in Jamaica, and so they lost millions of dollars, right? It also, COVID-19 also affected the local currency, where we see that since COVID-19, the Jamaican dollar value has reduced significantly, right? If we look at the workforce, the lockdown measures that most countries implemented affected industries such as the manufacturing industry, the hotel industry, food services, and retail industries, which led to a significant increase in the unemployment rate, right? It affected the entertainment industry as well, as public events. All public events were cancelled due to the social distancing measures that have been implemented throughout the world. So for example, the 2020 Summer Olympics that was supposed to be held in Japan, that had to be cancelled, right? Because there was no way of containing the virus. If we look at the healthcare system, the pandemic has challenged the healthcare system globally. Many countries didn't have spaces in the hospitals due to the overwhelming amount of infected people. So I believe in India, also in Jamaica, right? They didn't have spaces for sick persons to go. They ran out of beds, oxygens, and other resources. And this in itself leads to the nurses and the doctors feeling overwhelmed and getting depressed because of all the deaths they see on a daily basis. If you look at the food and agriculture, right, COVID disrupted the global supply chain, and as developing countries who depend greatly on imported goods saw a shortage in some food items, which led to the increase in food prices, right? If we look at education, in-person classes have been cancelled for over a year. Online classes, they were untested, and so it brought a lot of challenges, right? Many parents were frustrated, or they're still frustrated with the online schooling. They don't have the time to sit down with the kids and and actually do online classes with them, and other students have just not attended class because they don't have a device, they don't have data. So I did a research in my community. I observed and also questioned different people, and it shows that at least 50% of the students or the young children in my community are not attending school, and the ones who are attending online classes, they're not really grasping any the concepts that are being taught, right? And so um, we see that globalization has positives, but we now see firsthand all the negative effects of COVID-19. It has disrupted our world, right? So globalization can be a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. And it is evident in the COVID-19 that we are now facing. Thank you.